border, but your memory came too. I took a train to somewhere, no one knew my face. I thought a different skyline could erase our final days. I walked through crowded stations where nobody knew my past, but every stranger's footsteps made me turn around too fast. I ordered coffee in a language I could barely understand, and almost said your order like you still held my hand. I watched two lovers laughing under unfamiliar lights, and wondered if you ever think about me late at night. I keep changing all the scenery, but one thing stays the same. No matter where the road goes, every road repeats your name. I hear your name in every city, in every song and every street. I leave one place to lose you, but you arrive ahead of me. From midnight trains to hotel rooms, from foreign skies to empty views. I can travel all around the world, but every city leads to you. I stood beside an ocean far away from where we met. I threw a stone into the waves and tried to throw regret, but the water brought it backward, like the truth always returns. You cannot drown a memory when every heartbeat burns. I bought a little postcard, then stopped before I wrote. What could I say that wouldn't put my sadness in your home? So I left the message empty and watched the evening fall, because you asked for distance and I owe you that much now. I keep following the highways, trying not to feel the same, but every sign and station somehow sounds just like your name. I hear your name in every city, in every song and every street. I leave one place to lose you, but you arrive ahead of me. From midnight trains to hotel rooms, from foreign skies to empty views. I can travel all around the world, but every city leads to you. Maybe home was never somewhere, maybe home was how you cared. Maybe that is why I'm homeless, even with a room somewhere. I can fill another suitcase, I can change the morning view, but I cannot cross a distance wide enough to leave you. I hear your name in every city, but now I let the sound pass through. I will not turn each memory into another call to you. From midnight trains to hotel rooms, I'll carry what I put us through. I can travel all around the world and quietly remember you. I crossed another border, but your memory came too. I wrote your name again tonight and folded it away. Another truth without a home, another thing I couldn't say. There's a box beneath my bed 27 pages. Everyone begins with sorry. Everyone belongs to ages. When I thought that being distant made me stronger than before, now I write to someone who doesn't live here anymore. I tell you that the kitchen still remembers how you sang, that your coffee cup is waiting like it never understood the change. I tell you I am different, though you'll never have to see. And I hate that losing you was what it took to change me. I could place a stamp upon them, I could send them to your door, but love should never interrupt the peace it hurt before. These are letters I never sent, full of words I never meant, until your heart was far away and nothing could be changed. Every page says come back home, but I know to leave you alone. So I hide the truth where it can't hurt you, in letters I never sent. One is for the night you asked if I could hold you close. I said I needed space and gave you loneliness instead. One is for your birthday, when I barely looked your way. You smiled and thanked me softly, then cried when I went away. One says I remember every kindness I ignored, how you always left the hallway light so I could find the door. One says I forgive you, though you did nothing wrong. You only chose to save yourself when loving me took too long. Maybe silence is the kindest thing that I can give you now. So I'll keep these pages hidden and love you without a sound. These are letters I never sent, full of words I never meant, until your heart was far away and nothing could be changed. Every page says come back home, but I know to leave you alone. So I hide the truth where it can't hurt you, in letters I never sent. Maybe someday they'll turn yellow, maybe time will blur the ink, maybe I'll forget the questions that still keep me from sleep. But tonight I'll write another with your name above the line, then close it without sending, because your peace is no longer mine. These are letters I never sent, for the love I poorly spent, for the man who gave me everything. I learned too late to save. Every page says I still care, but loving you means staying here. So I'll keep my heart from reaching yours with letters I never sent. I wrote your name again tonight, then folded it away. Some words arrive too late for love, but never leave the page. left you, I was only late. You were waiting in the doorway with your heart inside your hands. I was looking past the future, like forever had no end. You asked me for an answer, I gave silence dressed as pride. You were trying to get closer, I kept stepping to the side. You remembered every detail, every fear I tried to hide. I barely saw the sadness you were carrying inside. I believed that love was endless because yours had always stayed. I never saw the countdown in the patience on your face. When I finally reached to hold you, you had nothing left to give. I learned how much I loved you when you learned how not to live for me. I was late to love you, late to say your name, late to see the loneliness behind your quiet pain. I was late to choose you, late to make you stay. I had forever in my hands and watched it walk away. I loved you, I was only late. Now I know the little moments were the places love was made. It was answering your questions, it was asking you to stay. It was turning off the television when you needed me to hear. It was holding you through sadness instead of disappearing. I kept waiting for a feeling big enough to make me move. But love was in the simple things I never thought to do. You did not need perfection, you just needed me awake. But I slept through every warning till your heart began to break. When I finally spoke the language you had stopped believing words, I became the girl you needed after being someone worse. I was late to love you, late to say your name, late to see the loneliness behind your quiet pain. I was late to choose you, late to make you stay. I had forever in my hands and watched it walk away. I loved you, I was only late. There should be another lifetime for the people who learn slow. There should be another doorway for the ones who finally know. There should be a way to offer all the love that came too late. But time does not return a heart just because regret has changed. I was late to love you, but the love was always real, buried under all the parts of me, too frightened still to feel. I was late to choose you, now I choose you every day. In a life where you are gone and I must honor why you stayed. I loved you, I loved you. I was only late. Somewhere there was a morning when I didn't cross your mind. I wonder if it happened on a Tuesday in the spring. You woke up and made your coffee without remembering anything. Maybe you heard our old song and didn't have to turn it down. Maybe you passed my favorite restaurant and never looked around. Did it feel like sudden freedom? Did you notice you were free? Or did the ache grow smaller till there was no trace of me? I used to think you missed me for as long as I missed you. But pain does not stay loyal just because you want it to. There was a day your heart moved on, a day I'll never see. The quiet little funeral of everything called away. The day you stopped missing me, the sky probably stayed blue. The traffic kept on moving. The world did not ask you to remember what we could have been, or mourn what couldn't be. Nothing ended for the world the day you stopped missing me. Maybe someone made you laugh and it didn't feel like wrong. Maybe you told us stories that I thought were ours alone. Maybe she touched your shoulder and your body didn't freeze. Maybe loving her felt easy after surviving me. I know I should be grateful that your wounds no longer ache. I know your peace is beautiful, even when my own heart breaks. But some selfish piece still wonders why healing feels like loss. Why I wanted you to find the light, then cried when you walked across. There was a day I became history without a final scene. The moment you stopped reaching back for the girl I used to be. The day you stopped missing me, the sky probably stayed blue. The traffic kept on moving. The world did not ask you to remember what we could have been, or mourn what couldn't be. Nothing ended for the world the day you stopped missing me. I hope it came so gently, you barely felt it leave. I hope one morning happiness was easier to believe. I hope my name became a sound that did not make you bleed. Even if that peaceful morning took the final part of me. The day you stopped missing me was the day your life began. Without waiting for an apology from who I should have been. I will grieve it, I will bless it, I will let your heart be free. Though mine still breaks imagining the day you stopped missing me. Somewhere there was a morning when I didn't cross your mind. No one knows I still leave the light on. My friends believe I'm better. I learned exactly how to smile. I say I haven't checked your page in quite a little while. I wear brighter colors. I go dancing when they ask. Nobody sees the moment when I come home from the act. I pour 2 glasses sometimes, then remember there is one. I listen for the elevator, though I know you will not come. I keep my phone beside me with the volume turned up high, as though 3 years of silence could still change before daylight. I tell everyone the story, like the ending doesn't ache. But behind every closed curtain, there is someone who still waits. No one knows I still wait for your key inside the door, for your footsteps in the hallway, like they sounded once before. No one knows I say your name when the hour becomes too late. I moved on for everybody, but alone I still wait. Your number is not listed, but my fingers know the way. Sometimes I type a message, then erase what I would say. There is nothing you could answer that would make the past untrue, and I will not make you carry what I still carry for you. My mother says I look peaceful. I tell her that I am. She does not know I keep your final note inside my head. I promise not to chase you, and that promise I have kept. But promises look different from the wishes in my chest. I can honor your decision, I can stay outside your life, but the heart does not stop hoping just because the hands act right. No one knows I still wait for your key inside the door, for your footsteps in the hallway, like they sounded once before. No one knows I say your name when the hour becomes too late. I moved on for everybody, but alone I still wait. Maybe waiting is not loving. Maybe waiting is my fear of accepting that forever will not bring you back here. So tonight I'll turn the light off, though my hands begin to shake. I cannot build a future in a room where I still wait. No one knew I still waited for a life that could not start, with one foot in tomorrow and one inside your heart. Tonight I whisper your name, then let silence take its place. I waited long enough for you, now I'll wait for me to There's a white dress in a box for a day that never came. I bought it without telling you, the summer before the fall. I told myself it meant nothing, but I pictured everything. The flowers in your mother's hands, my father trying not to cry, the way you'd look at me when I came walking down the aisle. You used to speak of marriage, I would laugh and change the scene. I acted like forever was an ordinary dream, but secretly I measured every room where we could dance. I wanted all the future, I was too afraid to chance. I kept my love inside a box where you could never know. And now the dress remembers the place we didn't go. The dress I never wore still waits behind the door for a man who stopped believing I would ever love him more. It holds a life that disappeared, a promise never born. I lost you long before I wore the dress I never wore. The laces still untouched, there are no footsteps in the hem, no music from a first dance, no vows spoken to him. I tried it on last winter when the house was cold and still. I look like someone's future, but no longer yours to fill. I stood before the mirror with tears against the white, and saw the woman I could have been had I loved you right. I folded it more carefully than I handled your good heart. Funny how I learned protection after everything fell apart. You asked me for forever, I was frightened by the word. Now I speak it to an empty room where nobody is heard. The dress I never wore still waits behind the door for a man who stopped believing I would ever love him more. It holds a life that disappeared, a promise never born. I lost you long before I wore the dress I never wore. Someday I may give it away to someone unafraid, someone who will wear her love before the love decays. But tonight I'll close the box again and let the white turn old. A wedding is not proof of love, it's the daily way you hold. The dress I never wore cannot bring us back once more. It cannot dress the silence or unlock your closing door. It only holds the lesson of the heart I should have sworn. I lost you long before I wore the dress I never wore. There's a white dress in a box for a day that never came. and it hurts in the kindest way. I saw you in a photograph beneath the summer sky. There was no shadow in your smile, no question in your eyes. She stood beside you laughing, with her fingers in your hand. And you looked like someone who was finally understood. At first my heart resisted, like a child afraid of truth. I wanted to believe nobody else could love you too. But love is not possession, and regret does not decide who deserves to stand beside you when the old pain leaves your eyes. I thought seeing you without me would only feel like loss, but there was something almost holy in the peace upon your face. Your happiness hurts beautifully, like sunlight through a scar. It shows me what I couldn't give and how healed you finally are. I cry, but I am grateful that your heart survived through me. Your happiness hurts beautifully, and that is how it should be. I hope she knows your silence is not anger, only fear. I hope she moves in closer when you try to disappear. I hope she understands why trust arrives for you so slow, and never makes you sorry for the scars I left below. I hope you never question whether tenderness is weak. I hope she gives you answers when you find the strength to speak. I hope the life you built together feels nothing like before. I hope she never teaches you to fear an open door. Part of loving someone truly is releasing what you lost, and blessing every kindness that arrives after the cost. Your happiness hurts beautifully, like sunlight through a scar. It shows me what I couldn't give and how healed you finally are. I cry, but I am grateful that your heart survived through me. Your happiness hurts beautifully, and that is how it should be. I will not turn your joy into another wound of mine. I will not call your healing cruel because it took you from my life. You deserve this gentle ending. You deserved a safer sea. So even through the aching, I am glad you became free. Your happiness hurts beautifully, but now I let it shine. It proves the heart I damaged was much stronger than my pride. I cry, but I am grateful you became who you should be. Your happiness hurts beautifully, and slowly it heals me. You look happy, and it hurts in the kindest way. I keep apologizing to the dark, because you are not here to hear me. At 2 a.m. turns into your tired face. The room becomes a courtroom, and regret begins its case. Every careless conversation, every time I looked away, returns with perfect detail when the daylight disappears. I tell the dark I'm sorry for the nights I made you small, for answering your kindness like it meant nothing at all. The dark does not forgive me, it just listens without sound, then places all my memories like broken glass around. There is no one left to argue, no excuse that I can make, only truth inside the silence and a heart that stays awake. I keep apologizing to the dark for every little way I broke your heart, for the doors I never opened, for the love I would not start. You are somewhere beyond hearing while I confess beneath the stars. I keep apologizing to the dark because you're no longer where you are. I used to fear your questions, now I wish you'd ask again. I used to hate the pressure of your love against my skin. Now nobody requires me to be honest or to change, and freedom tastes like punishment when no one says your name. I whisper all the answers I should have given then. Yes, I loved you, yes, I needed you, yes, you were my closest friend. But answers have no value when the question has moved on, and apologies grow useless when the person needing them is gone. The darkness knows my secrets that I hid from you for years. It holds them without mercy till the morning reappears. I keep apologizing to the dark for every little way I broke your heart, for the doors I never opened, for the love I would not start. You are somewhere beyond hearing while I confess beneath the stars. I keep apologizing to the dark because you're no longer where you are. Someday I must stop speaking to a room that cannot heal. Someday sorry must become a different way to live. I cannot change a story, but I can change the heart I got, and become the kind of woman who no longer fears the dark. I kept apologizing to the dark. Now I'll carry those apologies in my heart. Not as chains that keep me frozen, but a map of where to start. You may never hear my promise, still I'll honor every scar. I kept apologizing to the dark. Now I'll become my own new dawn. still quiet, but morning is coming. I almost made it through today without reaching for the past. I woke up and the sunlight didn't feel like something cruel. I made coffee for one person and did not think of you. I drove past our old corner without turning down the street. For 3 whole quiet seconds my heart remembered how to beat. Then a song came through the speakers and the road began to blur. Healing is a crooked hallway with no signs to tell you where. Some days I walk for miles, some days I barely move. But falling back for moments doesn't mean I haven't improved. I am not where I began, I am not where I will be. I'm somewhere between missing you and finally finding me. I'm almost healed, not completely. Some nights your memory still defeats me, but I don't call, I let it pass, I let the tears arrive and leave me. I'm still learning how it feels to love what cannot be rebuilt. I'm not whole, but I am real, and I am almost healed. I put your letters in a drawer instead of reading them again. I called a friend and told the truth instead of saying I was fine. I bought flowers for the table without waiting for a date. I am learning little kindnesses do not always come too late. I forgive the frightened woman who mistook distance for control. She did damage, she must own it, but she still deserves to go. I cannot hate her forever and become someone brand new. So I'm holding both the lesson and the girl who failed you. I am not asking for forgetting, I am asking for release. There is room to keep the memory without losing all my peace. I'm almost healed, not completely. Some nights your memory still defeats me, but I don't call, I let it pass, I let the tears arrive and leave me. I'm still learning how it feels to love what cannot be rebuilt. I'm not whole, but I am real, and I am almost healed. Maybe healing is not waking with no memory of your name. Maybe healing is remembering without begging life to change. Maybe healing means I bless you, then continue on my way with gratitude for what you taught me and forgiveness for today. I'm almost healed and getting stronger. The nights are soft, the days are longer. I still care, but I can breathe without imagining you beside me. I am learning how it feels to choose a future I can build. I'm not finished, but I'm real, and I am almost healed. I almost made it through today. Tomorrow, maybe I will. the last letter I will ever write to you. I have filled 100 pages with the reasons I regret. I have written every memory I was frightened to forget. I have asked you for forgiveness, though the words stayed in my room. I have loved you through the distance, like a flower without bloom. But tonight the ink feels different. There is peace beneath the pain. I am not writing to recover what cannot return again. I am writing just to thank you for the woman I became. Though I hate the way I learned it, I will honor what you gave. You were not a fail forever. You were love that changed my life. And an ending can be sacred, even when it is not right. This is the last letter. No request to come back home. No promise that I'm better. No reason you should know. I release you from my sorrow. I release myself from that. I will always love the person I will never hold again. Thank you for the mornings when you loved me without proof. Thank you for believing there was softness in me too. Thank you for your patience, though I used more than my share. Thank you for the final courage to leave when I wasn't fair. I am sorry for the damage that no sentence can repair. I hope life returned the kindness I was too afraid to share. I hope every room feels safer. I hope every love feels true. And I hope the girl beside you never needs to lose you too. I will stop rehearsing endings. I will stop rewriting time. What was yours belongs behind you. What is mine must now be mine. This is the last letter. No request to come back home. No promise that I'm better. No reason you should know. I release you from my sorrow. I release myself from that. I will always love the person I will never hold again. I thought letting go would mean that everything we were had died. But letting go is simply love without standing in your light. So I'll close the box of letters. I'll turn off the hallway light. I'll carry all you taught me, but I will not wait tonight. This is the last letter, and the first day I begin without asking your forgiveness. To become whole again, I release you to tomorrow. I release the might have been. I will always letter I will ever write to you. I fold the page, I close the box, and finally let you go.